Hey guys, welcome to Rosie's Dessert Spot. Today we'll be making this fun two-tier with a ruffled fondant and a pearlescent dusted top tier. So I have started with a 6-inch and a 4-inch. I've pre-crumb coated both my cakes and now I'm applying my final layer of frosting with dark chocolate ganache. Whenever you are using fondant to cover your cake, dark chocolate ganache is the best medium to use. It sets nice and hard and it just makes much sharper edges and your fondant sticks to it a lot better. Once you have smoothed it out, filled in any gaps and continue to smooth it down until you're happy with the finish, you can bring that lip of frosting at the top towards the middle with your spatula. Let this rest in the fridge for 20 minutes, repeat with your 4-inch, and then when you're ready, take your fondant. I've tinted mine with a little bit of red gel food color to make it pink. Roll it out to 3 millimeters in thickness and then drape it over your cake. Seal in that very top edge, otherwise it will rip as it kind of pulls down. And then you want to undo those pleats and gently massage the fondant onto your cake. I have applied just a little bit of vegetable shortening onto my ganached cake. This helps the fondant to stick to it and it's super forgiving, much better than water. Your fondant can start to break down a little bit when it touches water, whereas the vegetable shortening can easily be stuck to the fondant and also you can pull it off without ripping it. So it's a great little in-between medium. Poke out any air from the pockets, little air pockets here and there with a little pin and then push out the air. I have applied a little bit of cornstarch all over the cake because it was sticky and I didn't want my smoothers to catch on it. And then if it's really dusty, no stress, you can steam that off afterwards. Take some grey fondant, roll it out to about 3 millimeters in thickness again, and then cut it down to panels. You want these panels to be long enough to travel all the way around your cake, so that it starts and finishes in the same spot. I've taken a little ball tool and a sponge pad, running it along the edge to help thrill up those sections at the end there, and then take a little sponge, dip it into some edible gold paint. I've just mixed vodka with some edible luster dust and pounce it on the edge. With a little bit of water you can stick your very first one to kind of go up on an angle, so I have the peak of the fondant traveling up and over the cake, and then layer on a second one on top, leaving about 1 centimeter of space between each layer. I did find it a lot easier to wrap it, so you can tell here in my hand it's been wrapped up into like a wheel of sorts, and then I'm just unraveling it directly onto the cake. If it looks a little bit flat, you can take the other end of your ball tool, so the smaller section, place it between the layers and then pull it out and give it a bit of a pinch to create a bit more shape and dimension. Once you reach the very base, to keep each layer equally spaced out, you'll have to overlap on the cake board. Oh, I mentioned that step a little too early. Here we go. Alrighty, so I did have to bend it and overlap it onto the cake board. Cut off that excess and then you could stop it here, or you could go one step further and then add a little ribbon at the base just to hide the seam. I've inserted a little pin there. Try to keep your pin the same color as your ribbon if you can though. For the top tier, I've taken some vegetable shortening and just creating a very thin film all around the cake. I've tinted my fondant pink and then I've pounced over the top an edible luster dust in white or in pearl color. I had a few people actually ask me how to create a really light colored pearlescent cake. This is how you do it. So you don't actually buy the colored pearlescent, you color your fondant instead and it'll create that color. I hope that makes sense. Into the bottom tier I've added 3 bubble tea straws cut flush with the top, and I'm sticking my 4-inch on top again. You could add a little bit of ganache just to make sure the two stick together. Hide the base with a ribbon again and then insert some fake flowers or edible decorations wherever you see fit. You could hide the seam on the side of the cake where all the ribbons meet on the bottom tier, by the way. So it's a really strategic kind of way to hide all of that. And that's it, your cake is complete. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial and give it a go. If you do, hashtag Rosie's Dessert Spot so I can see your awesome creation as well. Let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see anything else in particular. But aside from that, thanks for watching and we'll see you again in the next one.